Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, we're here with Real Estate Talk with Beth, our weekly show on our social media channels and on Roku and Amazon Fire. Beth, thanks for joining us. We're starting some different shows with the interest rate have gone up a little bit, and it's scheduled to come down, but we don't know. Building costs have gone up. Beth and I have been talking about how we can let people know they can still afford a house. And, you know, we did a show talking about front row versus second row versus fourth or fifth row and saw the price breakdown. And there was actually, once you got off the front row, if you went to fourth or fifth row, it was half price more or less. Yeah. And so when I was thinking the other day about how else you can save money and you can sort of build up to your home, Beth and I started talking about lots. And so a lot of people down here, they'll come down and depending on the subdivision you're in, they'll buy a lot and they'll put an RV on it. Mm-hmm. And then they'll pay off the lot and then they'll build a house. Or they'll just keep the RV on it because they use it at the deer camp in the wintertime and the beach in the summertime. But a lot of the subdivisions that are coming up, and we've got quite a few new developments starting this year that we're going to talk about here in the next couple weeks, don't have deed restrictions, and so you can't put an RV in it, but you can still find a lot and buy it and maybe pay it off, because if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you go in and you buy a lot, and you may take 5 or 10 years, you know, to pay it off. While the kids are in college, you're paying on the lot. But once that lot's paid for, say the lot's $50,000.
Okay.
And you're going in to get a loan to have a custom home built. If you use that lot, can't you use that as sort of the down payment?
You are correct. That is your collateral.
Okay, so you're putting down more if it's a $250,000 home.
Let's say.
You're putting down $50,000.
Correct.
And so
you don't have to go in with any more money normally.
Right.
They use that as your collateral because if you foreclose on it, they can come and take the land from you.
Right, and the house and everything.
Right.
And so we're going to look at today lots, beachfront, second row, third row, and on back, and talk about how you can work up to your beach home. You can still come down here, and I've seen people come down for the day, spend some time on the beach, they go out, they have someone mowing the lot, or they'll mow the lot, and they'll sit there and have a picnic because that's their dream location.
Absolutely. Wouldn't it be for you?
Yes.
That is a dream come true.
And so if you're wanting a beach house, you know, property's not going to get any cheaper.
No, I don't see that coming.
Building a house could drop, and it fluctuates a little bit.
With numbers, you know, what the market's doing.
Right. But I can tell you land isn't going to go down.
And they're not making any more.
And they're not making any more. So if you are thinking about it and you wanted to buy a lot, pay on it for 5 or 10, maybe 20 years, and pay it off so that when the kids are at age, or maybe you just got married and when you have a family, you have a lot to go to, and then you could build a home. But let's look at pricing on lots, and Beth will explain this a little bit, but we're starting at the beachfront and working our way back and even jump to the bay.
Right. Okay, so these are sold. So I didn't go with the actives right now, and I only went back 90 days for the sold prices, and these are averages. I can tell you at the beachfront for 300, it's a little bit less than 300. That's the average. I know that there was beachfront lots that sold for 350 this year.
Right.
It just depends on where it's at and the size of the lot. So that number, an average size beachfront lot is probably going to be around 300,000. Then, you know, if you want to drop to the second row lots, and you still have a great view there at second row.
Especially if you can find a second row lot with a buyout in front of you, which You're not going to find very many of them because they're gone
They're
quick.
gone really fast.
But it is an option, or you may have that angle view because it's not in front of you. Maybe it's off to the side.
If you find that second row with a buyout, you're not getting it for under
Right.
200,000.
Right.
But your average second row lot with usually a great view is going to run you under 200,000. And
So we've already saved 100,000.
yeah,
going one row
just
back.
going one row back.
You've saved 100,000.
and
How
you're
many
only
years?
in it for what 175?
Right.
Yeah, that's a great deal. And you have less of the hit that you take on that front row.
Well, yeah, from storms, even from just the surf being rough and the sand blowing.
It's amazing the difference.
The
that
front
a
row
second
homes take a lot.
Yeah, they really, really do. So then we go into the third row, and again, you can get those good views. Gosh, I've seen builders on fifth and sixth row
With
get
a view.
amazing views on houses. So it depends on how that area is situated. I know, like in Pelican Point, those lots are 80 foot wide, so the builder has taken in consideration.
A lot of
those
times they'll
views.
stagger lots
Yes.
too, so that with the hot lot in front of you is actually you're centered in it, so you always have that view. But
Right.
once
So
you
you're
get
looking
to,
at 150 for a third row
so
lot.
you've gone in half now
Yeah.
to the third row.
And then fourth row, you're under 100,000.
And fifth row,
Fifth row and back, you're about 55, 65,000 in there. I know that I just sold a couple of lots that were fourth row, maybe fifth row, because there were some buyouts in there. And those sold for 55,000.
and that's another thing. A buyout doesn't have to be beachfront.
Oh no.
There's buyouts back in the subdivision. It could be the second, third, fourth row. And so you could have a buyout, and a lot of people, what they do is if they're next to it or they're behind it, they mow that lot and keep it up, keep it up so that it looks nice on their property.
Let's talk about buyouts a little bit. if
I have
that's
no
okay.
idea about buyouts.
This is what I know, and I've looked it up. I've sent the information to different buyers. It's when the Galveston County came in and bought out after Ike. Right. And so they say those lots can never be built on,
Never be sold.
never be so. I mean, there's some beautiful buyout lots out there, though. I just can't believe that they're never going to let those go. But the county owns them. I don't know.
And then you go to the canal
front.
side.
So canal front, I mean,
We don't have very many of those,
you don't.
but we're fixing to.
Well, yeah.
That's a whole nother
That's
show.
a teaser.
Yeah.
Canal front lots, and that's an average, and you're looking at about, 140 on that. And the great thing about a canal front lot is you can put your boat right there.
Right there.
You can build your house right there, or your RV.
And that's what a lot of people even do on the Bayside. They've got their home in Houston or Beaumont or Dallas, and so they've brought a trailer down here, and they've got a boat lift. They've got the trailer covered. They've got a nice patio. Because down here, most of your time is spent outside, especially in the summertime. Very little time is spent in the house or in the RV, and so people build houses to sleep in. They build the downstairs to entertain and relax in.
And, canal front, we have some beautiful canal.
With beautiful sunsets.
Neighborhoods. You've got gated canal neighborhoods. Now, all of the canal front neighborhoods are on the Bayside. So you have access to the intercoastal usually. Yeah, you would have access to the intercoastal. And then from there you can go to the bay. So
or offshore.
So that's the average on that. And then just a Bayside lot without any water access at all, you're looking at under 50,000.
Yeah. And that comes back to the show that we did talking about buying further back and riding a golf cart. A lot of people, they'll be on Boyd Road or North Monkhouse or Crystal Beach Drive, but they still can get to the beach by golf cart, and they drive their beach to the golf cart to the beach, but they have their boat behind the house because they love to fish.
Well,
Or
on Boyd Road, and that's a great location to be because you can just
you're
go
right,
right out
yeah,
there.
you're right there at Seavers Cut
Yeah.
and Crystal Canal, Stingery area. All that's great area, and that's something that we're not seeing any more canals being
I can't
dug.
talk about that. Can you talk about that?
No.
Okay.
So, you know, what I'm trying to do is show you there's other ways, and everyone loves a beachfront. They want to wake up in the morning, they want to listen to the sounds of the surf, they want to have their coffee on the beachfront and watch the sunrise. But the way the economy's going, or maybe you just need to save some money, you can still get a beach house. Just go further back, because you can buy a golf cart for $6,000 and a couple gallons of gas a weekend, and you can drive to the beach, you can drive through the neighborhood, you can drive 27 miles of beachfront on your golf cart, but you're saving. You can have the same house you built on we're going to build on the beachfront, but you can have it 5 or 6 rows back. You can save $500,000.
Right.
And so in the same way with the lots, you know, it's nice to buy a lot beachfront, but if you go third row back, you're talking half price. And if you go fourth row back, you're talking 60% cheaper. You go fifth row back, you're talking 35%, you know, of what a beachfront lot costs.
It really just depends on, you know, what you can afford and what you want.
And you don't want to get yourself in a bind. You want to look ahead and say, okay, this is where I'm going, this is what I can afford in 5 or 10 years when we're planning on building, or what we want to spend, because you may be retired, and Lord knows how everything going, you know, the economy is going to be like. But one thing's for sure, you can always sell the lot.
Right. I would suggest, though, when you are looking at lots,
think about the house that you're wanting to build.
Not only that, but do your due diligence.
Right.
You don't want to get into a situation where you bought a lot that is in the Cobra land, and which takes different insurance types. You can still build on it. You can still get insurance on it, but it's different. Or
and make sure the lot's big enough for the house that you want to build.
Yes, exactly. And that's where a realtor comes into place, getting your survey comes into place.
Because you don't want to build a 4,000 square foot house on a 50 by 100 foot lot, you know, because you'll have to go straight up and have several stories.
I think we may see some of that.
Yes, before it's all over with. And so you can even talk to builders, you know, hey, we're thinking about building a home. How big a lot do we need for a home like this? And do your homework. You know, look at the neighborhoods, or look at the area. Look at access to the beach, if you want to spend all your time on the beach, or access to the center of Crystal Beach, and do your homework. Don't get in a hurry.
That's the great thing about this market, David.
Right now, you don't have to be in a hurry.
You don't have to be in a hurry. Buyers
12,
have choices.
18 months ago, you had to be.
Right, and people made choices.
Choices over the phone.
Right.
So anyway, Beth, if people want to get hold of you and talk about maybe some lots, or they've seen a home you have, or they're looking for a home, how can they get hold of you?
Right. You can call me, 214-801-9801. You can come see me, our office diagonal to the big store. I have a big sign out there. Or you can go to our website, WeSellCrystalBeach.com.
Well, we're back every week on Monday at about 10:30 or 11, talking real estate here on Bolivar Peninsula. We may compare to some homes off Bolivar Peninsula, but it's to show you the difference between Galveston or Rockport or Corpus or Mississippi or Alabama on what the land cost and housing cost is here. I think if you do the research, you'll be surprised that this is still an unheard of gem down here. Bolivar Live comes out daily, 3 times a day on our social media channels, and now you can download Bolivar Live TV on Roku and Amazon Fire, and it's free to download. And we're working in the process of having a full-time TV station. You can see these shows live on it, and then on Wednesdays we upload all the shows for the week so that you can watch them all at once. So make sure you download on Roku or Amazon Fire, and make sure you follow us on YouTube, because in the coming months We're going to be doing more shows on YouTube and our Roku and Amazon Fire because we can get them out there easier. And social media really has a limit on what we can put out or how much a day we can put out. And we want to give you a lot of coverage down here, whether it's the weather, the news, what's happening, events down here, or maybe a hot sale item at the big store or a new home on the market. So,
David, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do.
I love it. I love my job.
You do a great job, and you do so much for the community.
Well,
so
thank
you.
you. Until next time, on that note, as I'm turning red,
He is. I love
y'all
it.
have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and we'll see you here on the Upper Texas Coast, Bolivar Peninsula. God bless, and bye-bye. 110 Realty Group on Bolivar Peninsula, located in Crystal Beach, Texas, believes finding the perfect home or property is a necessity for every client. That it's crucial to provide relevant, up-to-date information on the market, properties, and homes for sale to each and every seller or buyer. Keeping up with the market in today's world is how 110 Realty Group exceeds expectations for their clients. 110 Realty Group in Crystal Beach, Texas are your real estate sales professionals, both in beach home sales and property sales. Finding the perfect custom home on Bolivar Peninsula is a specialty of Beth Terminella and Leslie Armstrong. Keeping up with the daily changes and available homes, properties, and the changing market makes 110 Realty Group the choice for several custom builders for spec homes and investors looking for short-term rentals, along with home buyers looking for that perfect beach house for their family. 110 Realty Group for all your real estate needs on Bolivar Peninsula, in Galveston County, and across Texas.